Welcome, everybody. It is November 18th, 2025, and we have returning special guest Cassie Summers. Yay.
Yay. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for coming on. It's always fun to chat with you.
Yeah, you too.
Uh, I'm actually super excited about this topic because you brought up business energetics.
Yeah. Yeah, this morning was just kind of popping because we were gonna have a conversation um and I love business. And I know you enjoy business. I know you like business making, money making ideas. Like you're kind of like a hustler like me, and I like that about you.
Yeah.
I know you've had like a few businesses. And so yeah, business is really fun for me to talk about. And the reason I use business energetics was because I don't know about you, but I don't like someone coming at me with like, I have the perfect business plan. Like I know what you need to do for your business and I'll tell you, here's your steps, because that never worked for me. So, but what did work for me was communicating with my business as an entity, like getting into the energetics of it and choosing from the energetics has created my business to have all sorts of miraculous things I never imagined. So, that's why I wanted to dive into like the energetics of a business rather than just here's the perfect business model for you.
Yeah. I one time I saw someone do that where they said, okay, they were basically, and sometimes it comes down to money too, where the person's like, oh, I know you need to give me $5,000 so that I can tell you. And then the energy behind it is this isn't going to work. So
Right.
it's this transaction where it's like there need that like I see what's going on energetically with, and it's not very transparent. And you've got someone who's the quote unquote hustler, but sometimes it's I'm like, oh, I hope this person doesn't invest in this or give this person the money. Actually, that's happened more than once. It happened twice where they're like, oh, if you give us, all your money, whether it's 10,000 or $100,000, you get to invest in our building in this business. But also, when you look at the behind that, it was like, for what? They just want your money.
Yeah. Yeah. The energetics, like behind that is what I would call the energetics of that. You were like, nope.
Yeah, it's crazy. You
Yeah.
Yeah, well, the interesting thing is that what's coming up for me is like it doesn't make sense to go to a 3-day body class.
Yeah, you were talking about that. Yeah.
And I'm like, but the energetics is go, it's really light.
Yeah. And that's I love that. Have you found when you've gone to make those choices, so if you followed the lightness and in Access we always say what's true for you is lighter. So when you follow the lightness, do magical things show up that you wouldn't have expected?
I mean, hindsight, yes, like it I did that, let's just say 10 years ago.
Mm,
And then now it's kind of like it's like if I were to listen to that, it's almost like the fear excitement. So the excitement of like, this doesn't make sense and I'm gonna go. And there's nothing, yeah.
yeah.
Like I was gonna say there's nothing booked at the moment. However, it's taking the steps to go.
Yeah. Yeah, I always, for me, when I'm like following consciousness, like allowing consciousness to lead or following the lightness, like every choice will give you more information, right? Like you go to look at the flights. It's like exciting. It's like you book your flight. Oh my God, you're vibrating. Like book my hotel. Like, and it's matching an energy of the life that you're creating. So, and you can do that with every choice. You could do that with your business too. So, like maybe you want to start a new business, or maybe you have a current business. So, what are the choices that you're making, and do they light you up? Is that creating this sense of expansion, even if it doesn't make sense? Like hiring a new staff member when you're like, I don't really have the money to pay them, or I don't know how this is all going to work, right? Um, because energetics is not a logical, linear thing. So when you look at like you and your body going to this body class, and you're like, what will your life be like in 5 years?
Light and energetic.
Yeah. And then you're like, what will your life be like if you don't go?
Very heavy.
Yeah. So
Well,
then,
it's almost like the like because some people might be like light and heavy. People might not know exactly what that is, but heavy could be like monotonous, the same day in and out. Like I feel like a heavy wet towel that's never,
yes.
and it's not a spa one where it's nice and warm and fuzzy. It's like a big wet towel that's been left outside
Oh, yeah.
growing some mold.
It's got that smell that never goes away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The storage unit.
Yes. Oh, man.
Um, well, and with, with this choice of like that travel thing, I'm also looking at choosing freedom because, the border crossing can be very like they need to know what are you doing? Well, it's like maybe I want to go to Seattle. Maybe I don't. Maybe I want to go get some lunch. Maybe I don't. And they're very like we need to know the answers in every single thing. And if you don't like do this, then you're wrong and you're bad and you're going to be in trouble. And it's like, well, I'd like to maybe book as I go because you need to do a round trip. And part
Right.
of me wants to just book and go, book and come back. I don't want to do the whole you must do the round trip and get your hotel a month in advance. Like, I'm not interested in doing anything in advance anymore. It's like I'd like to go by freedom and choose one step after another, not
Right.
just the itinerary of my life.
That's great title for something.
This podcast, just kidding.
Yeah.
The not itinerary of life of business.
Yes.
That doesn't make sense. So with your business, so like, do you have one business? Do you have a bunch? Like, how has the energetics changed for you with what you're creating? Is it a class that you're creating, the business energetics?
Yeah, Business Energetics is it's a program. So I usually do 3 months, and this year it's asking to be 6 months. This is part of the Business Energetics because I'm like 3 months is easy. It's just clean and simple, and people can commit to that. And Business Energetics, the entity is like, nope. I mean, I'm like, no, but that will be easier to market and easier for people. And it's like, nope, we're doing 6 months. I'm like, that's a big jump for people.
Yeah.
But that's the energy that's showing up this round. So I do it every year in the new year. And so if I could fight it, and I've done that, I've been like, no, I know what's better. And then it doesn't work. When I just follow the energy and the awareness I'm getting, something miraculous always shows up. I never know exactly what's going to show up. Sometimes it's like lots of participants, sometimes it's lots of money, sometimes it's just a really powerful, intimate group, and we created something like so spectacular. And sometimes we're creating for the future. So just kind of following that. Yeah. So the program is we have calls every week. We talk about business stuff, energy pulls, creator mover connectors, wealth, willing to be successful. Most people aren't. Like all these kind of topics. And then this year, there's going to be, you're going to get a 30-minute private session with me. So it's kind of like we can go in and like really accelerate the certain parts that you're looking, because everyone's business is so different and what they're looking for is so different.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Um, so with your business, have you been able to like can you give like some examples where like the energetics where you followed it with your business or how it started? How did your business start?
Oh man. Well, I always knew I was going to go into business. That's actually what I went to university for. I did not graduate, but I went for like 3 years. Um, I just didn't enjoy the content that I was learning. Learning hands-on, I've learned so much more than I did in the 3.5 years of university business courses, other than my marketing class, which was awesome. I loved it. Um, so I started my access consciousness business. I want to say 10 years ago, probably. I just became a practitioner. That was when my business started. So, access bars practitioner. I would do access bars on people. I was charging $25. Well, first I did it for free forever. And then I was like, $25. I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm charging for this thing, you know? And then that grew into classes and that grew into an online presence and that has grown. And then there was a year where I was on like the most like creative, chaotic high. I started a As If by Magic magazine. I had a drop shipping business. I had my facilitators business. Had a contractor business, so I was contracting out to other facilitators services. I was doing ghostwriting. I was working for Access Consciousness and doing the mama stuff. And I feel like there's another business I'm missing. Oh, was I starting a house cleaning business? I like literally was like business, 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 business. It was so fun. And it was such a learning space for me because I realized that I didn't have a platform for a lot of these things. So I could infuse like so much fire to ignite them, but they didn't have a platform to like continue to grow. They were like, la, 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 right? And I'm like, oh, you needed more than just me like launching you into the air? Like, I thought I would just launch you. Like, here we go. Let's just go have fun. So, I went and I really got clear on what now. So, if you're a creator, this is like a great tool you need to have in your pocket because you will have 10,000 ideas all the time, every day, all the time. And you need to go like, which one now?
Mhm.
Instead of all of them at the same time, right? So which one now started to go, okay, this one. So it was like facilitators business and contracting were like the main things. And then, oh, and then my working for Access thing. So that was kind of contracting too. And then it was like, okay, I would put energy back into the drop shipping eventually. And then it started to come as I started to build this platform, like this energetic platform to sustain it. Because a lot of us can maybe start something up and going. And apparently, women statistically are more likely to start a business, but not to go past the 5 year mark, which
Mm-hmm.
is fascinating, right? So once I like really got clear on this energetic platform and this energetic communication, then I was able to really give something that like sustainable platform, not solidity, because that just never works in a business, but a platform where things have support and I have support. So everything can work in this really beautiful way. And coming up in January, I have another business I'm looking to start. So it's like, it's exciting because I love when new businesses come. I'm definitely a startup person. Um, yeah, and just following the energetics when, who, what.
That's interesting. Do you have any like tools for people to use just like from listening today, like anything, like a tool, like just to give a little bit of a taster of what.
Yeah, well, absolutely. So I guess one of the main tools is to acknowledge that every idea, every creation, like everything that's in your universe has its own consciousness. If you don't get that, you won't get business energetics. You'll just be looking for the step by step, which is if that works for you, that's totally fine. It just never worked for me. It doesn't matter how good your steps are. I will mess it up. It's just me. So when you really acknowledge, okay, this has its own consciousness, then you have to acknowledge that if it has its own consciousness, it knows what it requires. So then you start the communication process. And this can take, for some people, it's pretty easy and natural. Other people, it takes a lot of work because they have maybe more walls and barriers to it. It's not relevant. It doesn't make you wrong and it doesn't make you right. But just start that conversation. Okay, business. So let's look at a potential business, right? Let's say uh, Shauna's going to start a podcasting business. She already has a podcast. She's going to start a business where she helps people launch their podcasts. Okay.
That took
Yeah.
forever. You told me 10 years ago, you're like, Shauna, start a podcast. And I was like, okay. And I didn't know how. And then this past year just worked. It
Right?
worked.
Okay. It worked, and you learn how to do that, right? And there's other people that are like you, so you already have a story. Okay, boom, you've got the story. People are like, and people love a story because it helps you feel connected. And they're like, oh my God, I would like to do that, but I don't know how to do that, right? So then you go, okay, podcast building entity. So we're going to talk to this creation now. Hi. And I just kind of like sit with it for a minute. Like it's a, we're going to have coffee with someone. Like, you're new. Hi. Nice to meet you. And just start to notice what you notice. And again, if you're new to energy, you might be like, Cassie, I'm sitting here looking at the wall. I don't know what you're talking about. Um, it's still there. It's just you're getting used to another language that you've been speaking, but you haven't been aware that you're speaking. Then start asking questions. I always say start with yes or no questions. When this is new for you, use your light and heavy with a yes or no question. So, hey, so this podcasting thing, hey, would you like me to actualize you? Light or heavy, yes or no? Whatever you get. Okay, cool. Let's pretend it's yes, just for this example. Yes. Okay, cool. So then, all right, when? January 2026. Okay, that's pretty soon. All right. Okay, cool. What's required to launch you? And then you will start to have steps show up. You'll start to have like these things, but you might not get the full picture at once. Don't have any expectation. You're like, okay, I could do this, I could do this. And then you want to ask, who do I need to talk to? Because you might be missing information and you actually will let it come to you. And this thing that wants to be actualized, like you got to trust it. If it came to you and it's like knocking on your door, hey, can you actualize me in the world? It's going to work for you, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. So okay, how would you like to actualize who can help support this? And it will literally bring people to you. You'll be listening to a podcast and you're like, "Oh my God, this is part of what I need in my thing." Or you're just walking down doing some Christmas shopping and you see a flyer and you're like, "Oh, this is exactly what I wanted in my business." And it will all just start to come together in this really as if by magic kind of way. And that's just that following the energy. And like you said, it's like with the whole body class, sometimes it doesn't make sense. Sometimes it makes perfect sense. And if you're willing to just be that outrageous and chaotic in that creation, it will come together faster and easier than you expect. If you try and do linearity and like going from what's right, then most often it will be clunky and it'll be harder and take longer for you.
I think with people, it is that huge thing of right and wrong, and like you said, like the linearity, and I guess even judgment of like whether people are doing business right or wrong, or whether it's a success or not. I guess with my businesses, they did start about 10 years ago, and they've kind of morphed. So like it umbrellaed. So like the cleaning company, I still have it, and it's also umbrellaed to the landscaping, like house cleaning, outside cleaning, outdoor cleaning, pressure washing, window washing. So it's still cleaning, I'm cleaning houses still, but I mean it's not like the Sunlight brand or the Frank's brand, like brands that are in Canadian Tire and Walmart. I'm just a little contractor running around doing work, And
Great.
like you said, other businesses were asking to be created that umbrellaed still under the business that I'm doing. And then the Access Consciousness business as a facilitator and as a contractor also umbrellaed into environment and housing. So like I have a lot of little umbrellas of things, and it all does come together with clients wanting specific like pressure washing their houses, and then I get like 5 houses to do. So it's it doesn't look the way that you think it will, and then with the money coming in, it's slowly coming in, and I'm getting paid. So I think things are not linear. And in Canada there's a lot of things where if you make over 30 grand, then you do this, and if you make under, then you don't have to really worry about too much. So it's kind of like, yeah.
Well, I love that you brought that up because a lot of people will put an energetic financial ceiling on them and then they'll wonder why can't I, make over 20 grand? Well, because your ceiling is 30, so you're always going to make sure you're like significantly under, right?
Mhm.
And also, I just want to acknowledge how cool it is that you really were following as you let it evolve an umbrella. Like that's you doing business energetics. Like you were following the lightness and following like where it wanted to be and how it wanted to change and grow. That's really cool.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I love having the fact that it is like that umbrella of like being able to do basically anything that comes up. It's like, sure, yeah, I can do this, and it's already under a business. So,
Yeah.
you know. And then whenever I do advertise, it's funny on the car when I put that magnet on, someone always sees it and says, "Hey, I need my house cleaned."
Oh, that's awesome.
It was funny. I made one for like the entities and like bars and like clearings and stuff like that. And I don't think anyone saw it. So I might have to put that on again and see if anyone wants. Because in this town, you wouldn't think it because it's Chilliwack.
Yep.
But in this small town, tons of people came and talked to me about entities.
Wow.
I was like, oh, but I didn't think about it. I didn't think about it because it was just a conversation. And then couple days later, I was like, oh, every single person that came up to me talked about their grandmother, their mother, their father, their uncle, their son, and I was like, whoa, like that's crazy.
That is so crazy. You just reminded me. So the business, the cleaning business that I was going to start with a friend is we were going to clean and clear. So we were actually bringing an entity clearings into cleaning because do you notice that like when you do a really good clean, like you are energetically, you're clearing out the energetics as well.
Mhm.
Yeah. So we were going to run like clearing loops in the house while we clean, like to clear out all their entities.
Well, what's funny is like with different spaces, that's why it's so funny. I like the clear spaces kind of already. So that's funny. What if I didn't have to say, oh, I only want clear spaces and new spaces? I could have all spaces instead of, because like I was like, oh, I only want to do final cleans. I think like 10 years later, now I'm getting a final clean.
Wow. But it showed up.
It did. So just like the podcast.
Yeah. So 10 years is your process.
Oh my God. Every 10 years.
Every day. So what can you ask for now that you'll have in 10 years? Like a billion, be a billionaire. 10 years
Yeah.
isn't too long to wait for that.
Instantaneously.
Yes.
Okay, so before we wrap up here, when does your business energetics, is it a program? When does it start?
It starts mid-January. If you want to go to my website, there's more details there and everything. It'll be up pretty soon. Business Energetics.
Okay,
Yeah.
and I should know what your website is.
Oh, sorry.
Have,
Yeah. It's www.asifbymagic.space, and then it would be / business energetics.
okay, cool. I'll put that link in the description.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, like what if this, like, I know so many, especially after COVID, so many people went, my job isn't secure. Like a lot of people started, and they started to also realize I hate my job, I think. And so then a lot of entrepreneurs came forward, like a lot of people came and they started to create businesses like all over the place. And some of them thrived and some of them have been struggling. And like, what if this is the year for your business to thrive? Like, what if this is the year for your business to exponentialize? The world is changing, and we can look at that from doom and gloom, or we can look at that from opening of possibility. And my sense is business, like, a lot of these wild people, they need to own their own business. They're not going to work well for someone else that has less awareness than them, that is going down like a more anti-conscious path. And so like what better way to like empower yourself and to empower your business than whether it's this or something else, like just start exploring, like start talking to your business, start getting interested in the energetics of it that will support your adventure, whatever that is for you.
I think it's also important to look at the change as the years progress because like you just said, that was super like important that everything is changing in business in this world. And the old ways of doing business now are kind of almost like expired or kind of ancient. And it's not really fun. Um, like, the way people function in their business mindset, if it's super traditional, it's a little different, but like there's people who get paid for things you couldn't imagine. Playing video games, traveling, having fun, not making sense.
Yes. My kid loves these YouTubers, and I remember he was 18 years old, millionaire, just from like making vlogs on YouTube. I'm like, what? Okay, I'll have that.
Well, and the things that don't make sense and the weirdest little cartoons probably make the person millions, millions of dollars, and it
Yeah,
doesn't make sense.
yeah,
So what
totally.
if you could just have fun and not make sense and laugh and enjoy your life and your business prospers and grows?
Yes, I love that.
Cool. Yeah, I think it is important, and I think it would be cool to have that business energetics class because there is so much change going on, and following the energy, it doesn't make sense, but in the end, it will create something greater. So,
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much, Shauna.
yeah, thank you. That was fun.
Yeah,
Yeah, well, have a good day, and thanks everybody for listening.
thanks, everyone. Bye.